1 equals 3. You know, it's very easy for one employee to do the business productivity of 3 good people if they're the right fit, if the culture is correct, if the motivation is correct. In fact, 1 equals 3 is really an understatement. You're 30 or 40 times better at certain things than I am, and vice versa. So if you if you really believe that one great person is equal to 3 good people, you can pay them better, you can train them better. That's kind of what conscious capitalism is about, harmonizing all of the stakeholders, the community, the vendors, the shareholder. The shareholder kind of gets paid last, so we have to remember that. One company at a time. When each of you run a business where the employees are sort of lifted and supportive, and they mature and they grow and they sort of ascend on hierarchy, on Maslow's hierarchy of need, and they feel better and better about themselves, they go home and they treat their family better than they did before. You know?
I do want to say that the fashion industry is the 2nd largest polluter in the world, and you know, we've come to understand this recently. And so what's happening as we understand and share this information inside our company is we've unleashed this incredible amount of human potential, human energy, and the passion in the company is wide and deep to do whatever we can to solve this problem. And I want to say one other thing, because you were talking about competition. You know, now we've decided that even if we meet our sustainability goals, we want to be a 100% sustainable company. We want all of our products to be sustainable. But we realize that even if we meet those goals, if we don't share that information with the rest of the industry, you know, we're a drop in the bucket. We're not even a $500 million company. It's nothing compared to the size of this industry. And so we have to share. So that's what we're starting to do. We're training the people in the company to be ambassadors, to take this information out to our competitors. I think we just have so much power and possibility in this room, I'm sure. And so, you know, what do we as individuals do differently? You know, where do we show up? What places, what assignments do we take? How do we use our time? How do we use our energy?
Investing for the long term is the sine qua non to making capitalism work for everybody. So we really, I think we are at a tipping point. If we're not over it, we are on the right side of everything, and it's really important. And Richard, this is where you do come in. All of us need, and Robert, your question about making customers know it, we need society to know that we actually care about these things, and that ethics is what drives us, and that capitalism is an ethical economic system.
I will know that the journey was a success when we stopped saying sustainable capitalism, sustainable investing, and sustainable finance. We will simply call it capitalism, investing, and finance, because that's what it is. And if you're like me, and you believe that capitalism is beautiful, economics is poetry, and finance can be magic if you do it right, well, then we just want capitalism for the next iteration of it. Capitalism as a force for good, business and finance as a force for good. If we are going to address these massive societal imperatives, whether it's climate change or infrastructure or women's economic inclusion, healthcare, education, flipping the economic pyramid, if we're going to address these, we need to move trillions now. But the reality is we can move, all the pieces are in place, the asset owners, the asset managers, the investment banks, the exchanges, the accountants, the regulators, all the pieces are in place to move now. And as a Wall Street veteran, when I see everything lined up exactly right, at the right time, you go. An accelerating rate of change and an accelerating rate of impact.
If the SEC requires all of us as public companies to disclose anything that's material. So if you believe that it's material that you have a devoted workforce that's well-trained, then you are going to disclose that. And as an investor, if you believe that companies that have those employees who are committed, well-educated, well taken care of, like when Mark Bertolini said, it is just not going to happen that anyone who works for a Fortune 50 company is going to struggle, that's a metric, and that's measurable. And so that's impact. So to me, I'm not happy till all capital is going for impact.